you guys have any sessions with food photography?
I don't think we do. And that's probably a good one because that's huge in
somebody
marketing.
that would be great. It's come up in our podcast last week. I know it's going to be a topic this coming up week. There's been a slew of just awful photos.
Why are you picking on my pictures again?
I'm not. I'm talking about the mac and cheese I sent you.
Oh, vomit.
Yeah, it looked like vomit. And it's posted on their social media. I just don't understand, and I get people they just don't understand how to take pictures of food. And mine aren't always good. So it'd be interesting to see if there's a possibility of a professional photographer lending some tips.
I absolutely love that. And that's the kind of feedback we're looking for. We're building this for the food truck owners. We are not experts on that. We are good at putting on trade shows and events. That is what we are very good at. But we are looking for people to give us the ideas that you want to hear. So we've been polling and doing interviews and trying to find the day-to-day struggles, besides POS systems and generators, that
I do.
that people want to hear about.
Right.
I do notice that looking through the schedule, I am surprised that you don't really have a social media topic or a social media presenter. You do have one on day 2 for marketing or in the off season. Is there just not somebody that?
Can you get Gary Vaynerchuk in for the day?
Let me just say, so some of those sessions that don't have a person are kind of placeholders, and we're still might be looking for the right person or topic to go in there. So we're still, we don't want to commit too early without, because it keeps changing every day, to be totally honest.
I mean, and that's fair. We live on social media, so that's definitely something I'd love to see.
Are you expecting roughly the same topics sessions at both dates then, or so Houston and Orlando, roughly the same?
I think so. Now, this is where it gets a little spicy. When we were kind of designing this event and polling everyone and doing all these interviews, we didn't think people were going to travel in more than 3 hours to an event. Just no one was going to give up their 4 days out of the truck to travel.
Mm-hmm.
We launched our registration 2 weeks ago. Over half of the people registered are from out of state, Colorado, Utah. So that really changed the way we thought about some of the sessions we were going to do, like permitting. Because if we thought it was going to be mostly, Texas based, we could talk a lot about those permits. Someone from California or Utah is not going to care about Texas permits.
Exactly.
So we're really pivoting and changing some of that. And as I mentioned, we're changing things every day, but we're going to focus more on truck repairs and have hands-on how to change a tire, how to do basic trailer maintenance stuff that if you're down, if you can't move the trailer and you don't know how to change it, you're out of business for a day.
Oh yeah.
You're a creek without a paddle. Yeah, absolutely.
I've changed a couple.
We're going to try to focus on some of that type of stuff. But in terms, there are very universal things like social media, finance, that kind of thing. That will definitely probably branch between different shows. But we really want to see at the end of the Houston show, before we commit to Orlando, what was a success, what wasn't, and what kind of drive-in / fly-in are we looking at?
Yeah. So I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan, on the west side of Michigan, and Skippy's on the east side. But we have 150-ish registered food trucks in the greater Grand Rapids area. And for 98% of them, November 1st are closed. So the Orlando date's very appealing. It's free time for us. So that I'm looking forward. I think we close the Friday before that conference. So it lines up perfect for us. So I imagine
in Orlando weather, it's so nice in November.
Yeah.
Flights are cheap from Michigan down there. So I imagine we could get a bunch of people down. So
when you're talking about people from out of state coming, I would think the opposite. I would think more people from out of state would come. Like I was looking at your map, and you're looking at possibly a Chicago location for something like this in the future?
Yeah, originally we thought we were going to have to replicate this all over the country because we really just thought it was going to be a very localized show. So, just in general, we're going to have to replicate it. But now, if we start seeing this fly-in that we are seeing, we might just do, one East Coast, one West Coast, do travel destinations like Orlando. That's probably still a good one. Maybe a Vegas one. A lot of people like to go to Vegas. And so we might just do 2. And then we still might do some like pop-up education events around the country, and just to get the brand awareness out there, get some education in people's hands. And it's an ever-changing target, but we're learning every day. And again, we want this to be a show for the owners of food trucks and mobile other food vendors. So we're open to all feedback, and like people text us every day, oh, you should bring the show here. Well, that's where you live. I get that.
I mean, my vote's for Grand Rapids or Vegas. So, I mean,
I think Vegas could be good, but launching a trade show is rough. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of upfront costs and everything, but we just want to make this a great experience for people, and hopefully grow this into something great.
We have a mutual friend of ours that works for Showspan, which is a trade show type. They do all the RV shows and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, she tells us all about the hustles and bustles. Yeah, exactly, that too. Have you thought about? I'm just coming up with feedback, so I apologize if I just blurt something out. Have you thought about looking at political figures, congressmen, congresswomen, stuff like that regarding national food truck, either permits or ordinances or laws that can go national versus just state level?
Basically, we're tired of being looked at as third-class citizens because we don't have a brick-and-mortar restaurant.
Right. So there's a lot of associations for food trucks out there. Mm-hmm. I know, and it's strange for me coming into this industry. We're used to, like, most industries have an association, one that represents everybody and lobbies for them and all that. We have seen more food truck associations, and some in multiple states, and there are multiple associations in the same state, that no one works together, and we're trying to get a lot of people in the same room. And I can't talk too much about some stuff in the works yet, but yes, the idea is eventually there might be a larger scale group that could work on things to help people across the country.
Good. Fantastic.
I like that one, Skippy. Good job, Skippy. Making change. Well,
listen, I'm the question guy, so that's all I'll ever be.
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, the reason you have so many associations and everything is because licensing is different from city to city, county to county, state to state. Like, there's no, even like fire code and stuff.
Yeah, there's no uniformity. Like, I went through the University of Michigan has its own fire code that food trucks have to follow. That's outside of the county that they're located in, because technically they're a whole jurisdiction to themselves. So there's a lot of things.
And one county that wants GFIs and all outlets in a trailer. So one guy had to replace all the outlets on his trailer just to set up in the county. Like, it's ridiculous. And
if there was something that somebody could, even if somebody in that realm, the political realm, could attend something like this, so they understand who we are and what we are, and we're not just, as Josh said, second-class citizens. We're first class all the way.
Third-class citizens.
Oh, sorry, we're working our way up to second.
Yeah.
Sorry, but yeah,
well,
this is great.
Yeah. One of the biggest shows we produce is the National Shooting Sports Foundation SHOT Show. So that's a business-to-business firearm trade show with about 60,000 people. Now, we do work with a lot of political people on that. And again, being treated roughly is something that they're somewhat used to. So let's just say we have some connections, and we would like to make that happen.
Awesome.
Well, we'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Name names now. Quick.
No. We'll just use this clickbait.
Yeah. Joe Biden do it.
What? So with this, is this the first? I think you said it. I want to make sure I go around this again. This is the first time you guys are putting something like this on, correct?
Correct. This will be the first Food Truck Owners Expo that we've ever
Awesome.
done in July in Houston.
What are you most looking forward to as the person that we're talking to about this?
So honestly, after doing some of these smaller shows like this in the past, it's always to me the best when someone walks away after that first day of education and comes up and shakes my hand and says, like, you just changed my life. Like, there are these little tidbits I didn't know. I thought I knew everything. Someone convinced me to be here, and they have a big takeaway. The second biggest is when I hear a year later how much better their business is doing because of something like they learned at a show like ours, or a supplier they met, or even more common, just someone they met, like another attendee. Because networking at these is probably, if not the most important item, but it's close to top 2. Because you never know who you're going to meet and how they can help you, and have them on speed dial later down the line.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Is it awesome, Skippy?
It is very awesome.
And like, so we've been talking to so many people and telling them we're doing this, and the reception's just been fantastic. Everyone's like, wait, what? Yeah, no one does this. Why is no one doing this? This is amazing. So it's been really eye-opening to see there was a need for this and no one's tried. Besides, there are different trade shows out there that are much larger that have a smaller segment that would apply to food truck owners. But nothing just dedicated them, and definitely not education dedicated, because there's so much brick and mortar versus mobile is so different. It's almost hard to compare the two for many aspects.
Very, you are correct.
And I think Skippy and I are hoping to do a live show from there, or at least in the area. Sorry for my asshole dogs.
Hi, Taco.
It is.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's that time of night where people are out walking around.
This is when we take a drink. Yes, as Josh was saying, we are looking at doing hopefully a live show from when we go down there.
Orlando.
And, yeah, we would love.
What I do at some of my other shows too is I'll actually set up a little podcast studio, because once you see one person doing it, all of a sudden, like, oh, I want to record some. So, I'll bring some gear out, have some pre-built stuff if people want to use it, or you can bring your own.
That's cool.
It kind of gets exciting when you're recording there on a live show floor and there's people walking behind you, and you kind of have that buzz of the crowd behind.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's just staring at you and you realize, uh-oh.
Yeah, don't mess up.
Exactly.
5 minutes of silence. Just
looking at everybody walking by. I love trade shows just for people watching, but that's beside the point.
Oh, yeah.
There was something else I had too. Okay, so I lost my train of thought. There you go. Nope.
Do you know, you said you had food truck manufacturers coming. Do you know which ones?
Yeah, right now we have Trailer Kings, Rent for Less Trailers, who is also Titan Trailers, Empire Food Trucks, and one more I can't say yet. But that's about, so this first show is not going to be huge. We don't want to saturate it with, that's actually the limit a manufacturer is going to allow. Just the same thing. We don't want every POS system there.
Right.
And I'm not going to name super big names, but there's ones that we're sort of avoiding because they're very generic. And yes, a lot of people use them, but we're trying to find more specialized ones for this industry that can really help you and not just be a big corporate entity that does everything. That's my best political.
You have Easy Eats on here. I've heard so many good things about them.
Yeah, Easy Eats, Table Needs, and there's one more in the works that are just very specialized for the industry, not other big ones. I'm not going to say the names.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are asking us about, who should we use for credit card processing, whether it be, Square, Clover, Toast. Those are the big three that typically everybody hears, but then there's little ones like Cash Drop, and there was another one that just came up recently. Those are all things that I think a lot of people would love to see too.
Yeah, it's one of those. We could have a whole show on POS systems. There probably is one out there, but at the end of the day, most of them are the same. To me, it's about the service you get from them at the end of the day.
Yes.
So I kind of like some of the smaller specialized ones when trying to for these small businesses. But we're open to feedback. If people want to see the big three, we can push for it.
No, I think we all get phone calls from the big three anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for the most part, we're all pretty well versed in those, and it's always nice to see the smaller ones, especially if they're on the floor where you can kind of touch and play with equipment a little bit. Because getting demo stuff is impossible with anybody. So yeah, it's nice to see more than just a picture. So
For sure.
Skippy, anything else?
No, I'm just mesmerized by the website. It's pretty.
You're going through all the vendors, aren't you?
They don't have it. It's just
Food Magnet. I'm looking forward to talking to Food Magnet. That was a new one for me until I saw the vendor list.
We have a bunch in the works right now. We can't say names yet, but we'll probably publish the floor plan early May, I would guess.
Okay.
And then there will be traditional, we call them traditional 10 by 10 type booths. That's what most of the, we have 20 by 20s, 20 by 40s, 10 by 10s. And then we're going to have some local vendors. This is where we had to pivot a little bit. The idea was to have local plumbers, electricians, the people that will help you in your day-to-day life if you're local. But now we're seeing all this fly in, so we're kind of pivoting on that. So there will still be some like insurance companies that might be more universal, but not selling a product directly that day. So there'll still be some of that, but it's kind of a work in progress at the moment.
Understand. I'm glad that you guys have noticed the trend and are kind of pivoting away from just local stuff. Is there a limit on number of tickets sold?
There will be for Education Day. We're only able to do 300 education tickets.
Okay.
So that's just a hard limit on the space we have. We went small to start. Just it's hard to start.
You'd rather fill it than have 3 people in
exactly
auditorium.
Orlando will be more. We have more space in Orlando, and it's a pretty cool space down there. And then so we're going to do the same thing
in Orlando. Sorry, feel free to have everything in Orlando. Absolutely, feel free. Pack that place.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's down like there in the Kissimmee area. It's a pretty great facility. It's not too far from everything, but it gives us some more flexibility. We didn't want to take this to a convention center to start. We didn't want this big, huge, overwhelming feel. We wanted something smaller, more intimate, where we could take over the whole space and feel more like a family instead of, we're one of 8 trade shows in the same building.
Right. Nice. I like it. All right, Skippy, if you don't have anything else,
I'm waiting for Orlando.
Well, one thing I do want to mention, if anyone listening is in the Houston area, we are actually going to be having like a meet and greet, I'm going to call it, in April. April 22nd, we're going to be setting up at Porky's Backyard Food Truck Park. And we're going to be doing some interviews, filming some podcasts, and just hanging out. If anyone wants to swing by, say hi, and see what we're all about. And most importantly, have a beer on me. We'll have an open tab.
Whoa.
When was that?
Okay. When was that? How much are tickets? Okay.
That's just free. We'll just be hanging out there at Porky's. So it's a pretty cool new food truck park out in the Humble area in Houston, right next to the convention center we're using. So just nice synergy that worked out.
You said that's in April.
And Bill Moore will be there answering questions and stuff too. So
you said April for that?
April 22nd.
Awesome. I'm clearing my calendar.
Might have to fly down. I don't know.
Well, Sheldon, thank you very much for coming on. I know Skippy and I are both looking forward to it. We are already in the process of making plans to attend. So I'm bringing at least one of my guys with me. And of course our wives. My wife is very much looking forward to a pool in November. So that's where she'll be.
I love it.
And my wife's
Thank you for
birthday is
having me on here. It's always great to get to talk to people in the industry and do this. And, maybe we can do it again as we get closer. And I just, love doing this anytime.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot. And if we get any feedback or when we get feedback from our listeners, I'll shoot that on to you about anything they might be interested in and their regions. I know we have listeners across the country, so it'll be interesting to see what they think of the more broad subjects for what affects them in their areas too. So
yeah, love it.
Thanks again for
I'll throw this out there. You can just put this at the bottom or whatever. Sheldon at FTOexpo.com is my email. Feel free to anytime email me, or my cell phone number is 287-8807. Text me, don't call. I never answer unknowns, but text me and I'll be happy to chat.
90% of my calls come up as spam probable or whatever it is. So
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot, Sheldon. We appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon, and good luck on the expo, and we'll see you at a minimum in November.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Skippy, off mute. We're back now, Skippy.
There we go. We're back.
Break's over.
Break's over. Just doing business.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. I do have a discount code for our listeners.
Oh,
I know. We got a coupon.
Coupon.
We got a coupon for you guys. This is good for either location. I just lost it. Hold on a second. 15% off. Use the code MMFT15 and save 15%. So Skippy and I are both, like I said, planning on being there. We will be doing a podcast, I think, live from there, as you heard. And maybe we'll even do like a little meet up with some of our listeners if anybody's going to be there. Again, we'll be in the one in November because obviously we're pretty busy during July. So, well, kind of.
Well, and I don't really want to go to Houston in the middle of July.
Me either. Doesn't sound fun at all.
No.
I think it's hot. I think it's hot there.
Oh, I think it's quite warm.
It's hot enough here. I don't need to be there. It's a dry heat though down there.
Jeez, whatever. It's not dry when I'm sweating my rear end off.
Mm-hmm. I think it's your rear end that's leaving.
Simmer down.
So yeah, good conversation. I'm looking forward to it. It should be. It's. You okay? There used to be, or still is, a Columbus event that was geared towards food trucks. I never got to go. I don't know if it stopped recently, but I couldn't even find it on a quick Google search. So Pam says she believes she should also be included for the Orlando gig as a financial consultant.
Good.
We can expense the whole thing, right, Pam?
That's good.
It is a business trip.
It is very much a business trip.
Yeah. We'll have the podcast pay for it.
Oh, that's even better. I'm down.
I don't know with what money, but we'll work on it. Anywho, yeah, so we quickly mentioned food photography session. Hopefully we see that. There was a slew of bad photos in the last week. I got a little bit of karma for calling one out. I think it was one of our lower mac and cheese weeks after I called out somebody else's picture of mac and cheese.
I mean, you didn't really call it out.
I didn't. Yeah.
You just made mention of it.
I did make mention of it. I didn't mention the restaurant's name. It may have been a restaurant that we have a history with.
I mean, it's okay.
Let me pull it up, see if I can find that picture real quick so I can share with the class. See if he's got any better pictures. We did ask for some. Skippy, you want to pull up our post on our Facebook?
I have it right here, bud.
Oh, you want to share that screen and let's see what kind of pictures we got there while I look for this one.
Absolutely. Please.
We did ask for some good and bad pictures that you've either taken or have seen.
Of course, Bubba liked or laughed at mine.
That's a pretty solid picture right there.
What is it?
That is one of the versions of our mother clucker.
Oh,
so that's a chicken thigh.
Okay.
And then pickled onions, pickles, coleslaw.
The coleslaw on the bottom doesn't ruin the bottom bun?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, good. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. Well, here was mine from this weekend.
Skippy, I know that people order it.
That's all that matters.
And we've never had a complaint about things falling apart. So,
whatever. So here's mine from this weekend. It's my rib turn-in box.
Mm-hmm.
Please hold. Here's Bubba Bubba's.
You know, you should be able to hit the little side arrows there and take it to the next picture.
It didn't work. See, I'm pressing it and it doesn't work. So,
well, thanks Facebook for nothing.
Exactly.
That's
So
a good
this is-
picture. I like that. I like that picture. But okay, so even though this is a good picture, if you look at the sausage on the left, there's things there, but you can't really tell. You know, it's barbecue's
lighting.
hard.
I don't like
Barbecue's
the
so
lighting.
hard.
I think mine's better than his, but that's fine.
Yours is also a competition box and not something you serve out the window.
I can throw something I serve out the
I
window.
mean, if you want to compare competition boxes, then that's a whole nother topic.
This is from Jason Scanlon. I think that looks good.
It's not bad.
It just doesn't. It doesn't scream appetizing because it looks like pulled pork and coleslaw. Slider buns? Are these sliders?
It doesn't look unappetizing.
Correct.
Which is good. I'd like see.
We'll go back
I
to
like
that.
close-ups of sandwiches. I like to be able to see detail in the sandwich personally.
True.
Versus a tray of sandwiches. I like the heart cookies.
I'd eat the shit out of that.
Mm-hmm. Jason, what kind of cookies are those? I would like to know. Is it just chocolate chunk? Or is there other things in?
Or if there's bacon in there.
Oh, chocolate chip and bacon.
I like this one. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I do wish it was probably a little closer up, and the fries look really naked.
That's fine. I don't mind naked fries.
No, naked as in you can't. They don't separate from like anything else. You know what I mean? Like they just look plain. Like they just look plain.
They're French fries.
I get it, but they just look plain. I think this looks fire. Money.
Yeah.
Whatever the kids are saying.
The key to this is either the parsley or whatever you have on top.
I do wonder what that is.
That little bit of green, that is a spaghetti noodle.
It does look like a spaghetti noodle. Justin, can you tell us what this is?
Did someone lose a hair tie? No, yeah, it looks good. Yeah, the green really makes it pop. Otherwise, it's all just the same color, which is what I have a problem with.
Our good friend Isaac.
Mm-hmm. Long-time contributor to the show. Lots of questions.
He asks more questions than I do, which I appreciate.
Bernie says candied bacon chocolate chip cookies.
Oh.
He also does candied bacon triple chocolate brownies. Justin says that is a grilled chicken Alfredo sandwich. So it was pasta.
And speaking of Justin,
I like the whole lighting of this picture. It's very artsy.
Very artsy.
It looks like it should be in a magazine. Just with the lack of brightness, I like it.
Yeah, I like that too. Great job, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, another Isaac, which I looked at earlier. I'm sure it looks better than like on the camera than the post here. I don't know.
The sauce is intriguing to me. I have a question for Isaac, and I'm wondering did you have that picture of the bowl, and did you use an AI editor to have it placed in a different background? I guess the same could be said for one of Justin's pictures too, because I know Adobe has that feature, and so does Canva now, where it'll actually separate like my sandwich out, and then you can place it in different settings, almost like a green screen effect. We've used it a couple of times, and it works really well.
So here's ribs from Jason. Comment is not too good. Ribs turned out great and looked great, but the lighting was horrible. Looked way darker than they actually were, which I've seen that a lot.
It happens a lot with ribs.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a good rib picture, which I think is why when most people take them, like whenever I take a rib picture, it's always the side of the rib versus over the top, if that makes sense.
JT's been at it.
It's good looking. I like that picture. That's a good one.
Wings. Looks like a little rib plate.
It's a pretty good rib picture.
So in talking with him, what's funny is down where he lives, middle to South Indiana, if you don't serve baby backs, you don't serve ribs. So when they say ribs, that's all they think about is baby backs.
And I hate them.
I can't stand them either.
There's just not enough meat on them for me.
All right, what do you think about this one?
That's a lot of cheese. I would eat the shit out of that.
I would absolutely devour it, but it is a lot of cheese. It's like a volcano of cheese.
I'm here for it. I'll take 2, please. Even though I think that's a triple patty. I don't know. I don't care. Whatever.
That looks fantastic. I'm not big on the 2 big pieces of onion though.
Justin said his pictures were all natural. He took those. No AI involved. And food trucks have terrible lighting. You are absolutely 100% correct. They do.
Yes.
And it's hard because you need the light. So even if you did it where your service window is, you actually need the light on the opposite side. So you need the light behind your phone, not in front of your phone. That'll help keeping things from washing out. We have a LED strip above our sink, and that's typically where I will take a lot of our pictures. Just because I can get the best lighting in there sometimes. But top of our smoker is a good spot too. Sorry.
No, you're good. What do you think of this?
Yeah, I think one ring of onion is good. I think 2 is much, and then that way you can bring the pickle forward a little bit. And even if I don't know, I think sauce makes everything a little bit better, at least for a picture.
The brisket looks great. I mean, I think that looks appetizing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd take the bigger onion and just go straight across if it's just for a picture. But I mean, it looks like this was very photogenic.
I mean, you got to treat this stuff like McDonald's treats like when McDonald's does this, every ingredient needs to be visible. If you're just taking a picture just for a post, which I highly recommend everybody do, yeah, you gotta place ingredients very specifically, so that everything's visible. Everything looks a little bit shinier, a little bit moister. It's kind of like when we spritz our competition boxes, back to barbecue competitions, but we spritz the box with a little bit of water or apple juice.
Just to shine.
It's just to make it shine a little bit.
Yeah.
When they open the box, it looks a little bit shinier. So I think you gotta take the same kind of attitude.
So Justin was bad, flat photos, no depth, just the food.
It is such a weird line right there in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm trying to point at my screen like anybody can see. Yeah. And it's the bun or the hoagie roll or whatever.
Yes.
But it looks like it's almost 2 pictures that were kind of almost photoshopped together.
I almost think crinkle cuts photo better than the regular ones. But
yeah. I like a good crinkle cut.
What else we got? I think that's it. Oh, hold on. I just posted one myself. Right there. So how about that?
That looks good. I like that you drizzled on the outside a little bit. Yeah. Because you added that afterwards, after you cut it, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like the thought behind it.
I'm trying. My photos are, I mean, they can be really bad. Not overly bad, but like really bad.
It's not that they look unappetizing necessarily. It's hard to tell sometimes what it is, just because it washes out a little bit. Like you've had pictures of burnt ends that look very, very unbeef like. If that makes sense.
Yes, I have for sure.
Yeah. And then like the chicken, like we talked about the chicken tenders last week, just use a different sauce. Just so the sauce isn't the same color as the chicken that you have in there, so there's separation, so you can kind of get a better feel for it. So the picture that started the whole conversation with bad pictures.
Hold on. Let me unshare. Stop. There we go.
a local restaurant in an area where we set up that they asked us to leave our spot, threatened not really legal action, but township action.
Just an overall dick.
Yeah, just an overall dick. So the next day that we were supposed to be there, the morning before, he posted that they would be selling brisket on the day that we would be in the area, as well as mac and cheese, smoked mac and cheese.
Mm.
He was super proud of his smoked mac and cheese when it was done. That he took a picture of it, and everybody swallow whatever you have in your mouth right now.
Okay.
And let me pull this up. That's not right. Window. There we go. And
by the way, Big JT said quad smash burger 4 times cheese.
So,
that wasn't the one I saw, but that looks like vomit. I saw the one that was still in the smoker.
Oh, which looked way better.
No,
relatively speaking.
No, that did not. The color of the other one looked like straight creosote.
Okay, I'll pull that one up in a second.
Okay, good. Because that was bad.
All right. So he did also do smoked meatloaf. I don't know if that is cellophane on the bottom there that melted in.
No, I think that
not a good color.
I think that's just dripping.
Shine. Yeah. Smoked meatloaf actually didn't look too awful, other than it may be undercooked. I don't know. But those pictures. Is it this one that you were looking at?
Yeah.
I will still say I think this one is more appetizing than the gray.
That's a brown noodle.
Food. Yeah, because he never stirred them in the however long it was in the smoker. So they got. I guarantee you those are hard as rocks too.
Things that make you go.
Yeah. And those are his pretty briskets.
Oh, fat side up. That's what everybody does.
Hunko beef. That one's worse.
That's the one I saw. Yes. This whole thing, I'm pointing at my screen like you did.
Right.
The whole bottom part there.
Right here.
Yeah, it just looks like the smoker is just dripping shit in there, and excuse my language, and it's take that off the screen, please. It looks so bad. Like it doesn't even look appetizing.
This brisket's backwards, by the way. Who puts the point in the front of the smoker? Everybody knows it goes in the back.
Fat side up, too. Everybody knows fat side down.
I do mine fat side up.
You're right. I wrap fat side up.
But always the point in the back where it's hotter.
Thanks for showing my message why I left. Appreciate that.
No problem.
You're so great. Or how about Ange? Hi, Ange. How are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing. Hey, look at that. Where's my stop sharing button? Oh, there it is. Jesus.
Jeez. A little inside baseball there.
Yeah.
Big JT said Buffalo Chopper for the win. As far as I know, the chopped brisket goes through a Buffalo Chopper, and that's what it does.
All right. Making things too photogenic can be bad. To think McDonald's looks great, then you get it and it's a 1/2 inch thick smash bun and disappointing. I got that. I know for us that we try to make things as close to the perceived expectation is. So, I know I've coached our staff a lot on not pressing down buns. They think they needed to get things into wraps and stuff, but our wraps were big enough you don't need to squeeze things and press things in to get them to fit. Everything was pretty well thought out so that we don't have that effect. Yeah, we're very intentional about order of ingredients and how things look when someone opens the box. At least we try to be. One of the things we changed last year is for our loaded mac and cheese and our dorachos is that sauce and sour cream used to go on last on those. We have changed it now so that we put the sauce and sour cream on after meat, and then we do the veggies on top. Just because color-wise, the sauce was covering up the color of the jalapenos and the onions a little bit. so you couldn't see them as well. Now they pop a little bit better when you open a box, and it looks, presentation wise, looks better. So as we progress through everything, we're trying to be more mindful of that kind of thing. So always looking to see how we would do things if we ever got to a brick and mortar type situation.
Yeah.
So that way it's the same there as it is on the truck, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
We want to take the same care that we would if someone was getting a plate of food in a restaurant.
Correct.
So
very, very correct. So I just secured a 420 date finally.
Well, excellent. I've turned down like 100.
I'll only do it if they're paying for food.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've done 2 that haven't paid for food, and I haven't done anything on there at all. So.
Yeah, we don't have anything super special. We're doing our regular Saturday in Newaygo, and then we have a block party at a subdivision that night. So, yeah, I've heard too many horror stories of bad 420 events at dispensaries and stuff.
Well, it's like people go to dispensaries. I'm not gonna say everybody, but most of them go with their $20 and get their stuff and leave. Mm-hmm. There's no reason to do anything. So, I set up right in the middle of downtown in our area, right outside one of the bigger dispensaries. But I guess the difference between dispensaries is there's one that's like a one-stop shop where you can get a whole bunch of different varieties and companies and stuff like that. And then there's others that just sell their brand. And if you're a one-stop shop, you'll have more business, potentially, because you sell more brands. I don't smoke it. I don't do it, so I don't know, but that's just what I've been told.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. They're paying 100 meals or 100 sandwiches at $10 a sandwich. So
I guess real quick, we only got a few minutes left. I wanted to circle back around to the Food Truck Expo. Is anybody that's listening? Oh, we have had a whole bunch of people drop off, it looks like. I'm curious to see if anybody is planning on attending either of those events. Besides us. Skippy, thank you.
Oh, my bad.
Holy crap, it's that late. Bernie says Easter is on April 20th next year. Easter Bunny is going to be lit, he says.
How is Easter? Oh. Yeah, I don't know how that works.
It's the first Sunday following the first full moon of the spring equinox is when Easter is.
Yeah, Easter Bunny's going to need to be lit.
Justin says maybe about attending. I'm assuming that's what his maybe was for. So, yeah, it'd be cool to see you, Justin, and meet up with you down there.
Oh, JT commented the hill go down.
Awesome. I wish my wife would comment that. Never mind.
Maybe if you treated her as an equal instead of working in the basement.
I can't have her sit next to me while we're doing this. They'd be getting shushed every 5 seconds.
I try to shush you every 5 seconds now. But
I know. I don't need 2 people doing it.
I know. All right, folks. Sorry.
I thought you were going to say, go ahead. Send us out, Skippy.
Now you put me on the spot. I don't even know what I was going to say. All right. I said, all right, folks, this is the end of our journey. Please feel free to comment on any of our Monday morning food truck posts. Our marketing director does a great job at those. He would like some recognition. Also, please check us out on our social media handles. Sweet Racks Smoking Butts on Facebook and or Sweet Racks. Is it Sweet Racks on Facebook? It is Sweet Racks on Facebook, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Is it? Just shake your damn head.
Just do a Google search for Sweet Racks and Smoking Butts. Everything will pop up on the first page.
Yes, please do the same thing for PB&J's Barbecue. Other than that,
Bernie says don't try smoking bacon-wrapped Cadbury eggs. Literal shit show.
I think you'd have to freeze them first.
Yeah, it'd be like a chocolate lava cake.
It's so good.
It's molten.
So good.
All right, everybody. Have a great week. We will talk to you next Monday. We'll have another special guest next Monday, I think. So stay tuned for that. You guys have a good one. Talk to you later.
So,
bye. Bye.